All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack the incredible message that's packed into just a single ancient verse, Isaiah 1:18. Now, this comes from a book that can talk a lot about judgment, but it's also just woven through with these amazing promises of hope. And this verse, it's one of the big ones, a powerful message about stains, forgiveness, and what it means to get a completely new beginning.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like a mistake you made is now just a permanent part of who you are? You know, like a deep stain on a white shirt that just will not wash out no matter what you do? That exact feeling is what we're going to explore today.
So to really get the hope this verse offers, we first have to understand how it describes that feeling, that permanent stain. It uses some really powerful imagery to talk about the stain of guilt.
The words it uses here are so specific for a reason. See, in the ancient world, scarlet and crimson weren't just colors. They were luxury dyes, and they are famous for one thing: being permanent. Once a piece of cloth was dyed scarlet, that was it. The color was set, deep, vibrant, and literally impossible to remove. And that's the metaphor the verse uses for our mistakes, for our sins.
And doesn't that just capture the feeling of guilt perfectly? It feels permanent, like it's never ever going away. It can become defining, right? To the point where we only see ourselves through the lens of that one mistake. It feels unforgettable and, of course, unwashable. The verse starts by completely acknowledging this heavy and honestly seemingly hopeless feeling.
But then, right after setting up this impossible problem, the verse takes this completely radical turn. It doesn't start with a command, it doesn't start with a condemnation. It starts with something you would never expect, an invitation.
Just listen to the tone of that. Come now, let us reason together. This isn't a king issuing a decree from on high. It's an open invitation to a conversation. It's like God is saying, hey, come here. Let's talk this through. Let's look at this thing logically, together. What a remarkable way to start.
And this whole idea of reasoning together, it's a really big deal. It implies respect. It suggests the way forward isn't just blind obedience, but it's through understanding each other. It frames the entire conversation not as a trial where you're the one in the hot seat, but as a team effort to solve an impossible problem.
So, what comes out of this invitation to reason together? Well, now we get to the absolute heart of the message, a promise that is just breathtaking. This is the solution that's offered for that unwashable, permanent stain we talked about.
Just look at the absolute contrast here. It's night and day. On one side, you have the deepest, most permanent stain they could imagine, scarlet, and the promise to become as white as fresh snow. On the other, the deep red of crimson, the promise to become like clean, natural wool. We're talking about a complete and total reversal.
And that's the key. This isn't about fading the stain from red to, a light pink. It's not a cover-up job. The promise is for a 100% transformation, a total renewal. It's about taking something that is fundamentally defined by its stain and making it pure, clean, and completely new.
So, you might be asking, why does a promise made thousands of years ago still hit so hard today? Well, it's because it speaks to this universal human need we all have, the desire for a truly clean slate, for a forgiveness that goes so much deeper than just forgetting.
The kind of forgiveness being described here is just profound. It's complete, not a trace of the stain is left. It offers a genuine new start, not just another chance to mess up. It's fundamentally liberating. It frees you from the weight of your own past. And so importantly, it's not about just forgetting what happened. It's about being renewed so that thing no longer defines you.
So the crucial point is this. The message of Isaiah 1:18 isn't a call to just pretend the past didn't happen. It's a declaration of freedom. It is the promise that your worst mistakes, those deep scarlet stains, do not get to have the final word on who you are. You can actually be freed from their power.
And that brings us to a final thought. In a world that so often loves to define us by our past, I just want to leave you with this question to think about. What does the promise of a truly clean slate, a transformation from scarlet to snow, what does that mean to you?